Hi guys, I'm gonna do a quick instructional video, kind of a beginner's guide for 7 Days to Die on normal settings, geared at players who are completely new to the game. Kind of just lead you through day one, how to survive, the basics of playing, basically how not to get eaten. So the first thing we're gonna do is set up a new game. And I'm gonna change the name. The name of the game is the seed for the map, so you can only ever have a game, one game by each name. So I'm just going to pick survival, single player on the random gen map, call it New Game 6. Standard options, nomad setting, everything is on default. Now a lot of streamers will turn everything to instant craft for videos. I'm not going to do that just because I want new players to kind of get a feel for how long it takes to make stuff and get a realistic expectation for the fact that everything is not instant on normal settings. So we're going to go ahead and start the game up. It's going to take a moment for the map to generate. And if you're on a lower end computer, this may take actually quite a while the first time around. Okay, and we're in the game. It's completely random where you're going to start, somewhere kind of around within about 1,000 meters of, or 2,000 meters of Center City. So get a look around you right away. Here it looks like I started in the desert. Open my map, check out my position. Down in the bottom left-hand corner of the map gives you your coordinates. I'm a little north of Center City and quite a little ways east, so if I get a choice, I'll probably kind of head back towards the west when I start wandering. Now, one of the important things about day one when you first spawn in is that you will have 5 hours of protected time, where no zombies will spawn in the area immediately around you. Now, if you wander too far away from this area, then zombies will start spawning in, and you'll lose that protection. So we're going to make the most of that protection by kind of staying put for a little while, a couple of game time hours, until I've got what I need to be able to kind of hike on down the road. So first thing we're going to do is collect a piece of grass, stick, and a rock. And we're going to go open up our tab, and on the very first tab, the basics, the very first item is a stone axe. We're going to craft that stone axe before we do anything else. And I like to rearrange this so that my bandages are always in that last spot. With the new right-click menu, there's no reason to keep food or water on your hotbar anymore, so I take those off. And now with the stone axe, it'll be a lot faster to harvest all this stuff. And here in the beginning of the game, we're pretty much just going to grab everything. Yucca is useful if you do spawn in the desert. I wouldn't bother grabbing aloe plants. It's going to be a little while before we can really make use of those. We need some grass, but we don't need a ton of grass, so here in a moment I'll probably have enough grass to... Oops, I just grabbed an aloe. Probably have enough grass to satisfy. If you come across bird's nests, grab the eggs and feathers, definitely can use those. As soon as you have some sticks, you can make a wooden club. It's always one of the first things I'm going to make. Put that right there. The driftwood, you can break that up if you want to get some logs. Here in the desert, that's not too bad of an idea. Really, the time that it's going to take you to break it up versus the fact that you only get one log is probably not worth doing on day one. It's better off to try to find some trees. And really on day one, I'm probably only going to knock down one tree just so I can have a couple of logs in case I need to break them down for sticks or if I need to make some frames. So notice I'm kind of going in a circle here, trying to stay in the same area. Lots of sticks, lots of grass. but not a lot of rocks, and that could be a problem because we do need to have quite a few rocks to be able to make arrows and campfires, and also eventually to repair your stone axe. Now here's a little tip. Don't repair the first stone axe that you make. Just make sure that you've always got some sticks and rocks and grass with you here in the first couple of days, and make a new one each time, because the first one you make is probably terrible. That one's quality 7. It's almost as bad as it can possibly get. I keep grabbing those aloes. So if you make a new one each time, chances are the new one that you make will probably be better than the one that you just got rid of. So I'm kind of looking around now for some rocks. I could break up this big rock, but it takes more time than I'd really like to spend. There's a rock. Now if you find any trash bags or backpacks, make sure that you loot them. Everything is useful in some way for the most part. For example, these poor quality shotgun parts, I'm probably not going to keep those. I don't want to haul those around. They're not that good to begin with. I am going to scrap them, because scrap iron is going to be pretty useful in the first part of the game. The trash bags loot has really improved from old versions of the game, and they're absolutely worth checking them out. I know a lot of players skip the trash bags and skip the trash cans, and I think that's a mistake. I've found good books in those. I found a lot of parts and stuff that I need in those, so at least in the beginning, I definitely loot just about anything that's lootable. And we've got enough sticks. I'm going to go ahead and make a bow. The wooden bow, the first wooden bow that you make, not going to be great. It's going to take several headshots to kill a zombie, and it's a little hard to use it, so it takes some practice to be able to get headshots with them. But I think it is worth making it. It's just, I'll probably end up killing a few zombies with it here on the first day. Now the whole time that I'm doing this, I've also got to watch my time up there. Once my 5 hours are up, there's really no point in sticking around in this area. I've kind of cleaned out, gotten what I needed, gotten some rocks, gotten some grass, got some sticks. If you start in the desert, you can also knock down these cactuses to get yucca fruit. I don't think it's worth the time on the first day, because you're really not even going to have to eat or drink on the first day at all. If you start pretty much anywhere other than the desert, you'll have cotton around you, and it's very important and very helpful to pick up at least 12 cotton right off the bat. What that'll do is 2 cotton makes 1 cloth, and you can turn those 6, that'll make 6 cloth. You can turn 6 cloth into a sleeping bag, lay down the sleeping bag, and kind of set your spawn point right away, so that if you die for some reason, you can start somewhere close to where you died and be able to get back to your bag real fast and pick up all your stuff. Since I'm in the desert, I'm not going to have that luxury on this go-around. That's okay. Chances are I'll find enough cloth by the end of the day, at least. And really, if you are playing careful, you shouldn't be in much danger until nightfall. I'm going to take a look around. Okay, I said now, all things being equal, since I'm further to the east than I am to the north, I'll probably kind of head east. I may actually go to the top of this mountain here and take a look around, see if I can see a road from where I'm at. Shift key is your sprint key. Absolutely use that. Just make sure that you don't ever engage zombies when you're out of stamina. Always want to make sure that your stamina is fairly high when you engage zombies, because it will make you do less damage. Control is your stealth key. Puts a little eye on your screen. That little eye is small. It means I'm undetected by anything. If it gets big, it means that something is coming for me. That is a great way. I just tap that on and off every now and then to see if anything knows that I'm around. Because sometimes zombies, and dogs especially, won't make any noise as they're approaching you. Okay, well, this area looks pretty desolate, so we're just going to kind of pick up and head west. As soon as I get out of my little starter zone, all the zombies are going to pop into the world pretty much auto-magically. Okay, I just leveled up. Basically just leveled up off of crafting. So that's one of the good reasons why it's always worthwhile, in my opinion, to make a bow. And now I've got a bow. I don't have any arrows, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the Weapons tab. There's arrow. I'm going to make some arrows. Make sure you don't make crossbow bolts when you're using a bow and arrow, because those won't work, obviously. 1 stone, 1 stick, 1 feather makes 5 arrows. For the moment, I'm running a little low on stones, so I'm just going to make 2 sets of arrows, so 10 arrows total. And as I need them, I'll make some more arrows. They do take quite a little while to craft. One thing that you should always be doing is crafting in the background as you're walking around, moving stuff, if you've got something to be making. A lot of players think that you have to sit there and watch it craft. You don't. It finishes up in the background. The only thing it doesn't do is it doesn't move it into your inventory until you open up your crafting window again. And then go to your bow and make sure you hit R to load your first arrow. If I had $1 for every time that I pulled out my bow to shoot a zombie and there was no arrow loaded, I'd have a lot of dollars. So the goal in the first day is to get as much gear as possible, get a stone axe, get a club, maybe find a better weapon. But the main thing that I'm looking for right now, and there's my first zombie. Saw me right away. It's coming for me. Main thing I'm looking for right now is shelter for the night. It is never too early to start looking. Everything takes a lot longer in the beginning of the game than it will later on, and that includes clearing out zombies, securing a place to stay, finding things, period, looting. So if I do find somewhere to stay, chances are I will probably just spend the rest of my day kind of clearing it out, looting it, and securing it for the night. Sometimes it takes a long time to find somewhere to stay, and sometimes you find one right away. The introduction of the gravel roads in Alpha 12 helps immensely with that. If I can't find a building along the main road, you can always find a building along the gravel roads. And one thing I should mention is that I do have the combo pack installed. It's a little add-on that adds a lot of new buildings to the random gen map. And so we may come across some kind of funky buildings that you guys haven't seen or won't see in the basic game, and those would be from the combo pack. I do recommend the combo pack, maybe not necessarily your first time out, but definitely pretty early on after you've played a few games. The combo pack will really add to the experience. It really adds a lot of diversity to what you're going to find out here. I've probably got enough feathers that I can stop. You guys notice I've stopped gathering grass, stopped gathering sticks for the most part. I've got no sticks. I'm looking for rocks, and I was looking for feathers. I think I've got enough feathers now. And I've gathered quite a little horde of zombies up behind me. I'm not overly concerned about those zombies. During the day, they're going to walk slow enough. As long as I keep moving and don't stop in one spot, they're really not much of a danger to me. And one thing I'm not finding much of, and here's corn. Corn is not really useful in the beginning part of the game. Later on, I'd probably be pretty excited to find corn, to be able to start a farm. But here in the beginning, it's all about kind of prioritizing. You may find great magnum parts, for example, or you might find just any kind of magnum parts. Generally, I won't pick up magnum parts this early in the game. It's just not worth taking up the inventory space this early. It's going to be a long time before I can use them. that actually goes for a lot of the gun parts. I don't personally care for the hunting rifle much, so I generally won't pick up the hunting rifle parts at any point. This early in the first day, I probably will only pick up really good shotgun parts or any kind of pistol parts. The 9mm pistol would generally be the first thing that I build. So now I'm finding a couple of trash bags, grabbing some loot out of them. I am having to keep an eye on those zombies right behind me. Another thing that people often screw up with is spending time the first day building or hunting. Or killing, for that matter. I don't bother to kill anything until I absolutely have to. It's a waste of time compared to... The zombies do sometimes drop good loot, but it just takes too long to kill them compared to what they're going to drop. That's not worth the time and effort. Same thing goes for hunting. If you do manage to kill an animal, yeah, you get a little bit of leather that you can't really do anything with. You get some meat that's going to make you stinky and make you attract zombies. And you're not in any position to stop and cook right now anyway. Plus, there's no need to. As you can see, my water and my hunger bars have barely moved at all this first day, so it's just not a priority for me the first day. Okay, I've got pretty much all the basics taken care of, so now we're going to start trying to move a little faster, trying to find that building that we're going to stay in tonight. Split a stack in half with shift right click, by the way. That is one I get asked quite often, is how do you do that? Okay, and here we've got a main road. I don't see anything in the northerly direction. So I guess we'll head south right at the moment, get over this hill. I am a little bit in danger of heading right directly into the center city, and if I come over this hill and see the center city, or if the road turns and goes straight south, I'll probably go back the other direction. Center City on Random Gen, if you're not aware, is a bag. Bags are awesome to find on the first day. So I'll take that pistol grip, take those jars to make yucca juice. Take the hunting rifle bolt, and I'm just going to break it down into scrap. I need a little more cotton to be able to make that sleeping bag. Like I said, if you start out and you get lots of cotton, I do recommend putting it down. There's a dog over there, and I do not want to tangle with him. Not sure why there's a dog out here. Most of the time you're not going to run into any dogs on your first day out. And I'm probably going to go back the other direction in order to avoid him. If you do see any dogs on your first day and you haven't found any good weapons, I would recommend avoiding them. And if they do see you and they come after you, the best thing to do is going to be to outrun them. You can absolutely outrun the dog. Don't try to start a fight with them. They're just kind of hard to hit, and your club will probably take 6 or 7 hits to kill them. And you'll be bleeding, use up your last bandage by the time you're done, or just outright dead. So if he came after me, I could outrun him. You just sprint directly away from them until you hear them give up the chase. They'll make a little noise that lets you know. And I am running out of time to find that building. Usually doesn't take that long to find a building, and I'm sure I'll find one pretty quick here, but until I do find the building, I'm going to stop collecting cotton, I'm going to stop getting off the road, I'm going to kind of just book it. What would be ideal for the first night is a 2-story building, pretty much any kind of 2-story building. If you had time to clear the zombies from around it, it'll probably be just fine. You may get noticed and they may beat on the building all night long, but as long as you're on the 2nd story, you're probably going to be just fine. And a lot of times you won't even get noticed. A lot of times you go through the whole night without any kind of zombies attacking at all. Yeah, so any clothes you find, just go ahead and put them on. That's a pretty good find right there. I'll have to repair it, but grab everything right now. Hit repair, you right click and hit repair. The wooden club uses sticks. Every other club's going to use metal strips. That one's pretty broken, it's going to take a little while for it to get a few more sticks since I used some right there. Having some pretty bad luck on our first day here. So far we haven't so much as seen a building. We ran into a dog. We started out in the desert, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's a little, in my opinion, a little bit harder to start. It's easier to find food in the desert, strangely enough, and water, because you can make yucca juice. But there's a little less chance of finding good buildings in the desert, as you guys may have noticed. Well, I'm getting really unlucky here, guys. I'm sorry for the downtime. It's good to see that this is kind of the worst case scenario for day one, is you start in an area where there's just absolutely nothing. There's a couple of items that aren't worth picking up at all. At this point, the old sham sandwich, the rotting flesh, and the glass panes, completely useless. Barns are sometimes populated by dogs, so I would generally keep a distance away from barns. Some are, some aren't. I can't keep track of which ones are. That's a military base, and that probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my mod. Increases the chance of finding those. Unfortunately, neither of these two give me any kind of shelter for the night. In fact, the military base is surrounded by landmines, which are quite hard to see, so I recommend keeping your distance there. Sometimes a broken 3 damage versus 10 damage. That iron club, when it's fully repaired, may or may not be better than my wooden club. I'm going to bet probably not. Usually the iron club is 1 tier higher than the wooden club, and usually it would have to be no more than 1 tier lower quality, and it's 2 tier lower quality. Looks like I may have passed a cave at one point back there. Caves make an excellent place to stay for the night. Unfortunately, I think the odds of the average new player finding one on day one is pretty low. So I was kind of hoping to show something that's a little more common, which is finding a building that you can kind of reinforce and stay in. That barn back there would be better than nothing if it absolutely had to. I could get onto the roof of it and stay up on the roof. Quite frankly, I think I'd rather dig a hole in the ground than stay on top of a barn, because they'll go through barns pretty quickly. For a new player who's not maybe used to the combat system in this game, definitely want to have somewhere picked out to hunker down by now. I feel pretty confident that I'll probably, if I find somewhere, and it's not a city, I'll probably still be able to clear it out, and if I don't clear it out, it doesn't take me but a couple minutes to dig a hole in the ground. Know what that was right there. It's probably an error from the mod. Some block got put in the game that isn't turned correctly or got put in the wrong spot. Happens every now and then when I get close to these gravel roads. If that console pops up for you guys, you just hit the tilde key to close it as fast as you can, because your character's locked up until you do. Alright, now this is a point of interest that's added by the mod, but it's one that I'm very familiar with. The gravel road is pretty much unmanageable here. I'm going to try to get down from here without breaking my leg. But like I said, this is something I'm very familiar with, and I do know this particular building generally doesn't have a lot of zombies around it, so this is where I'm going to stay tonight. And there we go. There goes my... So first things first, I'm going to make a new one of the stone axe. Now normally I'd be building a few wood frames by this point, and I'd use those to get over this wall, because I really haven't gotten a lot of wood frames. Instead, I'm going to make hay bales, because there's plenty of grass around. I need 3 to get over this wall. Grab a little extra grass, make up for the fact that I may have to use a lot of hay bales here. Okay, the hay bales are done. And on this particular POI, what I want to do, I would have gone up over that corner, but there's a cactus that I'm sure I'm going to hit and hurt myself. So I'm going to go up over this one instead. 1 block from the wall, so I leave a gap that the zombies can't jump. Get up here, there's barbed wire going all the way around this thing, so I want to make sure I don't land on the barbed wire. I'm going to jump that gap up to here and jump off directly into here. Now my priority is I can run around and loot some stuff after dark, but one thing I don't want to do after dark is have to fight zombies. So I'm going to run around here, see if there's any zombies inside of the wall. Doesn't look like it. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and get inside. I'll probably save most of the outdoor stuff tomorrow morning. Windows are almost always easier than doorways, but do check the doorways because sometimes the doorways are actually unlocked. And I'm breaking the curtains to get a little extra cloth. Once again, I said I can always do a bunch of looting tonight while I'm stuck inside the house and inside the walls, kind of hiding from the zombies. So right now I'm just kind of running around making sure I don't get surprised by any zombies that are actually in this house. And it might be nice to have a spot I can go to if they come for me. So what I will do, there's tons and tons of ways that you can do this. You can get up on the roof if you want. You can get into a bunker. You can dig yourself down into a hole. You can build a platform. But I find the easiest thing to do is on a 2-story house. I'm just going to knock out the stairs. The zombies are fairly stupid, and they're going to try to get as close to you as possible, even if that means directly underneath you. So they won't go looking for a way up here as long as there's not an obvious route. So if I take out these 2 stairs, I'm actually going to use that wood debris. And I'm going to take out the next 2 as well, because the zombies can usually jump that. This will work for the occasional random shambling zombie that just happens to walk by. Absolutely not going to hold up against a horde of zombies. If they're determined to get to you, the gore blocks will build up and they'll be able to get over the top, or they'll stand on top of each other to be able to get over this. So I definitely wouldn't do this if you're upstairs doing a lot of crafting, running a forge, or if it's a 7-day night. But this works just fine for normal nights, especially your first night. You're very unlikely to get a horde. I made a couple of wood frames. Take those wood frames and I'm going to put them right there. And now the zombies can't get up. If I come down, I can pick up a wood frame, jump on up, and then put the wood frame back down again. Now, if they do come here and they start beating on these, the wood frames will break pretty quickly, and then they do have a route up. So in that case, you might call those wood frames more of a delaying option. But if I stay away from the stairway, they probably won't go to the stairway and start beating on it. And there we go. I just made my own mistake where I didn't check to see if the door was unlocked before I started beating on it. So now I'm going to loot the house. I'm going to be kind of quiet about it after dark. Probably going to crouch and hide. See what I can find. And I'm going to make a sleeping bag and put it down up here. To set my spawn point. You know what? I might cancel that. I bet one of these rooms has a bed in it, and then I can just pick up the bed. You can pick up any bed or mattress or sleeping bag and set it back down again, and it'll set your spawn point there. It's another stone axe down. This does make quite a bit of noise, so I'm trying to break this open before it's dark. Didn't see a lot of zombies around. Probably not going to have a problem with that. Oh, and that is a lucky find right there. Got a pistol, probably not a great pistol, definitely not a great pistol, and some bullets, but it does allow me to maybe do a little hunting here at the beginning of the game, or if everything goes really poorly. It looks like that bed is not the kind that we can put down again, so I will make that sleeping bag. And that noise right there is the sound of the night fall, that kind of ominous noise. That means the zombies are now running. Put my sleeping bag over here. Close that door, so if things go poorly, hopefully I respawn in there and have a moment before they get to me. Mining helmet is a great find, definitely the best helmet in the game, the best thing you can wear in the game. So, the rest of this night's probably going to be pretty boring. I'm going to loot around the house as much as I can, try to avoid detection. I might make some yucca juice with these empty jars and all that yucca that I picked up. Probably won't make a campfire. I don't have anything really to cook. I don't need to boil water. In the first couple of days, you'll usually be finding enough water while you're looting that you won't need to do that. If I wanted to pick up some goldenrod and make some goldenrod tea, then I could do that. But I didn't pick any up yet, so no use in making a campfire. And that's pretty much it for your first day. Then your second day, you're going to keep moving, keep trying to find some buildings to loot, pick up as many books as you can. Make sure you always check the trash and the trash cans, and try to find somewhere that you can hole up by about 1600 each day. So it gives you plenty of time to get everything settled and kill all the zombies around you. And be prepared for day 7. I think a lot of players don't prepare fully enough for day 7. You can hide from the day 7 horde by just finding yourself a cave or finding something deep kind of down that you can get into where they won't be able to get to you. Or you can wait them out by getting up onto I prefer tall brick buildings or stone buildings. Get up high, make sure that you've covered the edges so that those spider zombies can't get to you. And you just wait and they'll just beat on the building until morning. And then you can jump down and either run away or sit there and try to kill them. I think fighting the day 7 zombies is usually pretty difficult unless you've just gotten really lucky on your finds in these first couple of days. Found some guns and maybe got the crossbow recipe and everything. So, yeah, usually I focus more on day 14 for that. But that's the video. If you guys have any questions, you can leave them in the comments, and I or one of the other commenters will probably be happy to answer questions. Thanks for watching.